jump in, I studied this conflict in the past, this semester and a little bit before, so I knew a little bit about what we were getting into. Some of the new things that I learned was the influence of these internally displaced people, and their influence that we would find out later would impact our program and the direction it took. One of the things we definitely learned was the different types and their influence of the positions and perspectives that the other people had. You know, we had however many people in the simulation, and then, like I said, the internally displaced people, the mayor, external factors that were not role members in the simulation. But one of the main things was the U.S. government. The locals didn't really have a good outlook on that. They don't really want that much involvement. Luckily, the budget was cut, so there wouldn't be that much in the program. But regarding program length, I talked about this some in a program evaluation course. I thought the program ended up being kind of long for what it aimed to do, but also short at the same time for you know, similar programs. So I don't really have that much experience in it, but I think it was interesting. You know, we settled right around 2 years, just about, a little less actually. Timing was a little weird. I don't think there was any real reason for it to be proposed to be right around when the Pope was coming in. It seemed like an unnecessary goal, but okay. I think the program did a good job at addressing a lot of the post-peace agreements and issues that would come up from that. Some of the issues were a little bit out of hand, like we had thrown around the idea of making a transport system, some sort of Uber-esque thing, which I think was just way outside the scope of our program's intentions. But we also addressed the future application to letting these IDPs into the program. So once we're done with these 300 people, we can kind of unite more of the program and the locals in the community by letting these IDPs through the program. Also get involved with the church and other community involvement things, you know, gardens, businesses, anything to bridge both sides, make the locals more into it and the FARC members more likely to succeed. So, you know, some people are going to think that it's kind of unfair, but at the same time, we can try to mitigate that, but solving it's going to be a totally separate issue that might be rough, or you know, we might just be at best able to satisfy it. To explain my role, I was the representative from the Organic Urban Farmers of Suacha Cooperative, which was good. So I had the property, I had a medium-sized farm of my own, and the means to kind of supply what the program needed. I didn't really know the quantity, size, or, you know, I had a medium farm. I don't really know what the output is of that, how many people it takes to work, or really how that would affect. We ended up kind of addressing it like as if I had the means. And, you know, I had other farms at my disposal too, so we assumed that we had the land. The cooperative's already focused on the food needs of Suacha and helping others, so we know the moral ground is there for them to help out the program. And my card said I had ideas of how to participate. So I know that means that me suggesting ideas, being a key player, was in line with my position. My own research kind of showed that my cause was my role was most likely very sympathetic to the IDPs and the ex-FARC. The growing organic food market in the nearby city of Bogota was growing, so we just had the demand and hopefully the supply. We just got to connect them. Then another program in a nearby place focused on organic farming for healing processes. So we know that this sort of program is not too far-fetched. It seems very plausible and could hopefully work. One source even described the organic farmers in the area as building social cohesion rather than trying to be a profitable business. So as long as it covers expenses, the farms could succeed. My role was one of the most important ones, I believe, because we weren't really a spoiler. We weren't anyone trying to do anything but help out the program, provide, fix the things. We had the land, you know, and the farmers training. So hopefully we could handle that, and also my role involved throwing out ideas, so I considered that very helpful. So to analyze some of this project, we definitely had a couple of things that went really smoothly and a couple challenges. Some of the things that went smoothly were the that fact that we had the land and the people already kind of put together. So, you know, the farmers, government, people, church, everyone was already there together, which would have taken a lot to do if we hadn't. Now, those are our roles, so it made sense, but it was good because real things don't really turn out that way always. That being said, these people also had the necessary connections to institutions, people locally that let solving a lot of our issues be feasible, so we could have these connections to make things work. Some of the challenges, though, became money. None of us really had any experience in trying to figure out how much certain things would cost or any guidance regarding that, so we weren't really sure on how to do that. Also, the local businesses didn't seem to be a huge fan of the program for the same reason that we were facing potential protests and boycotts from IDPs and locals that were not a fan of foreign intervention, unfair treatment of these people, or you know, addressing one problem over another. So that was a major challenge, as we found. So as far as what I might have learned about myself during this, I think that I'm pretty good at foreseeing spoilers and trying to accommodate them as far as, you know, thinking of things that might not be on our number one part of the radar. But another thing attached to that is often trying to see the good and the bad regarding other people's suggestions and unseen strings that they might have to try to keep, you know, whatever we do as realistic as it can be. Some of the challenges that I had to kind of overcome, though, were not taking on extra roles, and, you know, if my role didn't have the means to suggest or solve a problem, even though if I could have maybe thought of something, I was trying to, on a number of occasions, not, you know, I was trying to sit still and not do that and stay in a role. So that was a challenge for some of it, for sure. As far as connections to make between our coursework and the simulation experience, I would say that a lot of them that come to mind are involving the reconciliation process and spoilers in any process like this. And there are certainly compromises that need to be made because, like, the ideal is very often not likely going to be the reality, which I think was very obvious in this program. As far as my future career goals that this might impact, I'd really love to be involved in some sort of creation of a program. I liked having, you know, seeing things come together and trying to do things myself as far as, you know, see the effects. You know, it was a great experience and a challenging one that I won't really forget for the future. My major fear would be that the program would crash and burn and be unsuccessful, which would be devastating. But, well, you know, we'll see if that ever has the chance. Moving forward, as far as things to update the simulation with, I would suggest something along the lines of more structure or details. Just because there's a couple things that, like, we couldn't figure out the specifics of, like, you know, how big is my medium farm? How many people can it accommodate? You know, we have 300. I'm not sure how much that's supposed to come out to be. How much money would a similar program potentially get? Or even if we just knew how much a similar program would need, we could address, you know, we'd probably figure out how much we might get. But if we needed this much, we'd have to address how to get the difference. As far as making it a little bit more relevant, this is 341, Conflict 341, and, you know, it's smaller scale. It kind of seemed more community level based, which obviously made sense. I'm not sure how it would get necessarily larger scale than that, but it's just something that I thought of as far as this program being more community level than international. That being said, in conclusion, I thought the course was great. Despite that, I thought it's something that everyone in SCAR should take. As a lot of the other classes don't address things like this. So the actual kind of example in putting us in roles for more than 10 minutes at a time was really helpful. So I'd suggest that you definitely keep going the way we're going. Thank you.